You clicked on it. Good for you. So we're going to talk about the North Atlantic right whale. There are only about 500 left in the world, making them the most endangered large whale in the world.
Right whales were hunted to near extinction from the 11th century into the 1920s for their blubber and baleen. They are called right whales because they were considered the right whale to hunt.
This is because they are relatively slow swimmers and they float when they are killed, making them easier to bring back to shore.
When a law was passed in the 1920s that prohibited the hunting of right whales, there were only about 100 left alive.
The population has slowly grown and has reached 507 animals as of March 26, 2013.
But there are still major threats to the right whale population.
And this is how you can help. The first threat we're going to talk about is entanglement. This will usually be feeding and will bite down on the floating rope between the traps. The whale starts to freak out and thrashes around trying to get the rope out of its mouth. This just causes the whale to become more entangled. Right whale entanglements are a big issue. Almost 80% of the right whale population has become entangled at some point in time. 80% of all the right whales alive today. This is a big problem. If you work as a fisherman or a fisherwoman, you can use sink rope instead of float rope.
If the rope is on the ocean floor, it is unlikely it will get stuck in the whale's mouth.
You can also buy responsibly caught seafood. There is a link to a list of that in the description.
Another big problem for right whales is ship strikes.
North Atlantic right whales migrate up and down the east coast of the United States. Sadly, this is one of the busiest shipping ports in the world.
The National Ocean and Atmospheric Administration passed a law requiring the ships over 60 feet in length must slow down to 10 knots or less in areas highly populated by right whales.
But this doesn't apply to federal vessels or boats under 65 feet. When a boat under 65 feet long hits a whale, it isn't usually killed, but will be seriously hurt and will have to live with painful scars for the rest of its life. There is usually about one whale killed every year from ship strikes. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but a few of the whales killed in the last couple of years have been pregnant females, and with a population this small, you can't afford to let that happen.
You can help by buying products that are made locally. If there are less things being shipped across the sea, there will be less boats in the ocean, and when there are less boats in the ocean, there is a smaller chance of a whale being hit.
Also, the law requiring ships to slow down in areas populated by right whales is going to expire in December 2013. If ships are allowed to speed up again, it is likely that the number of whale deaths by ship strikes will double. If you want, you can write a letter to Mr. Rauch at NOAA explaining why it is important to keep a law in place. I did another video about that, and you should watch it. And don't pollute or anything like that. There's a lot of plastic in the ocean, and throwing more in there is not going to help anything.
And try not to have a big carbon footprint. Global warming will hurt the whales' food supply.
So yeah, check out our Tumblr page and our other videos, and go save the whales!